Howdy out there, folks. Today we're going to take a look at this 1993 film Red Rock West, this peculiar Blu-ray release out of Mexico. It has not received a Blu-ray release in the US, but this film is a Region A, B, C disc, and I picked it up used for $5, and it plays fine. The interactive menus, of course, are in Spanish, and but you can pick the audio track as English 5.1, and it does seem that the subtitles won't go away, so you thankfully can pick either Spanish or English subtitles as well. The transfer looks good. It's not amazing, but it's definitely a huge step up from the DVD, and it's such a good film that until a proper Blu-ray release is given, one that has tons of special features, this is just it's too hard to pass up. And I want to first point out that this movie is a amazing sibling to Blood Simple by the Coen brothers. It just feels like it's in its orbit, and John Dahl, who directed it, and I believe he wrote it with his brother, just crafted a one of those just airtight screenplays that's it's great. It has proper setups, and it has a nice ending, and you just enjoy spending a couple of hours with these characters. It's a really fun, entertaining noir western that I highly recommend. It just sails right along, and I want to point out too that Nicolas Cage, this was, I believe, just a couple of years after Wild at Heart, and it almost feels like he's playing a slightly more mature sailor from that story. And Dennis Hopper is his usual creepy self. Laura Flynn Boyle is actually pretty good in this. She, of course, was in Twin Peaks, but she never really was able to catapult that success into a film career, and to a certain degree I can kind of see why. I think she is somewhat limited, but in this film she does a good job. And then I also want to point out it has a great turn by J.T. Walsh, one of my favorite character actors out there. May he rest in peace. It's just sad he died, clearly before he was able to give us some more, and I have no doubt he would have. He was just pretty much everything J.T. Walsh was in. Whenever he shows up on screen, you can't deny his presence. He's just such a good character actor. It also has a very small cameo role by Dwight Yoakam, and I believe one of his songs is featured over the end credits. Again, this is just one of those movies that I remembered really enjoying. I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan, so of course had to have it in my collection, and it's actually, I would consider, one of his best films that he's done. He's really good in it, and his performance is supported by just a crackerjack screenplay and some real sturdy direction by John Dahl. Highly recommend it. And again, as you can see, I believe this Blu-ray release actually is 2022, so pretty new. But the description is in Spanish, and the menu is also in Spanish. Let me just pull up the disc art. At least it has some disc art. But again, Red Rock West, it's definitely one of those films that is worthy of its kudos. It actually has a really high score on Rotten Tomatoes, and I remember the reviews Siskel and Ebert gave, where they both commented that it was one of the best films of that year, in their opinions. So on that note, I just hope everyone out there as well, please stay safe, be kind, and keep watching great cinema.